Hello, welcome to Facebook Live with Selene. My name is Selene and I work here. I have a big story about that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, here we go. And I'm live and the volume's off, and I'm gonna see if I can share this to our creative group so that folks that might be looking for us over there can find us. Group. And we're off. So as you come in, if you could just let me know that you're here, I appreciate that. And away we go. Okay, so I had a team member this week. I'm just jumping right in here. I had a team member this week ask me, what is a lolly? And I said, well, we played with this Round We Go bundle at bingo. Do you remember that bundle? She said, yeah, but I don't know what a lolly is. I said, oh, they're so adorable. So I thought that we would make one quickly with the Round We Go dies. And then I have another little bit. I had, over my travels the last month or so, I've met probably 4 or 5 people that don't know Stampin' Up! And they're asking me questions, which is pretty awesome. So one question was, where do I start? What do I buy? And then another question, that's the big one, but other questions might be, how can I use Stampin' Up's kits to help with gift giving over the Christmas season? So I met a couple ladies at breakfast when we were getting off the boat, and they said that they were really interested in buying kits for their grandkids to do. And I'm not talking like, we have robot buddies for little ones, but then we have something that would be good for teenagers and even older. Stampin' Up! Released two new kits this morning, and one of them, it was an adult coloring book with watercolor pencils and an aqua painter. And I had one because my business development manager brought one from the home office, and my daughter confiscated it. So I have to wait for mine to come in, which was really funny. So if you're here and you're hanging out, please tell me where you're from. I can't wait to see what you have, where you're from. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera and I'll talk about these dies for a second, okay? We'll do the lolly part first. I'll put my hand over the camera so that I don't have any issues with blinding anybody or getting us all dizzy. Hey, Heather. Nice to see you. Okay. So I just plugged in a hot glue gun. I know that other people have put these together easily with tear and tape or liquid glue, which is this stuff. But I'm going to stick to the hot glue for this project. When you roll these through, if you cut your paper down to 6 by 12, you'll have 2 pieces. You just cut it in half. I was able to cut out 2 pieces with one swipe on the die, and I was able to get enough for 7 lollies out of one 12 by 12 designer series paper. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is take these and fold them at the crease line, because the die has little score marks for you. And then once it gets a little hairy to try and fold 2, I'll take them apart and then keep going on my journey. So while I'll do that, I should tell you, when I design a card, I typically start with a stamp set or theme and a designer paper that I like. Even if I don't care for the theme of the paper, I sometimes love side B. Like, we have the Zinnia paper that's an online exclusive. You can only see it online. And I really liked side B for designing for Halloween. So on the back of our designer paper, it tells you what colors are in that pack. And for a new person, I would recommend starting with that. Find a designer paper and a stamp set that you like, and then pick a coordinating color of cardstock. So these are Pool Party, but I was thinking that the in color, the new in color looked so spot on. It's very close. So I went with these 2 blues. Our product line is intended to match. So a lot of the blues will be in the same family, which is pretty cool. Coastal Cabana and Pool Party being like a duo. One is a darker version of the other. Okay, so I'm almost there. I'm going to continue to fold these. So this die cuts out 2 at a time if you're running it through on my machine anyway. And the score marks are still completely intact. Hi, Joan. Washington State. I love that. Thanks for joining today. Sorry I was a little late. I didn't plug my phone in. My husband's away on business, and I completely forgot to plug my phone in and go into bed, and then I just never looked at it today because I was busy making lollies. Okay, so that's the strip. So you need, to make one lolly, you need 2 strips of the paper that looks like this, and then you fold it like an accordion. And then I took one of the die cuts that come in the set, the largest one here, and I cut myself a scalloped circle to finish off that. I also want a piece of scrap white. Oh. I made a cute little graphic because my daughter's coming home for the weekend. So I made this. Welcome home, Alexis. I thought it would look very cute on the front of our lolly. And I'm just going to take my blends marker and fill in the heart here. So again, the blends marker is the exact color of the paper. Ah, Summer Splash. See, I couldn't remember the name of it, and there I am. All good to go now. Okay, so I have this scalloped circle, and I have this for the back, which is just a punched circle, and I only used a punch shape because it's easy and it's fast. But they do layer up if you needed to. All right, so let's grab the hot glue gun. I'm going to move some of the stuff out of the way, but look at all these cool pieces. So these layer onto each other, and then these circles actually cut holes. So if you wanted to, you could cut out that and then cut this at the same time and put a hole in the middle. I would use a Post-it note so it wouldn't move around on your cutting pad. But anyway, what is a lolly? Let me show you. I'm going to take these out of the way because I don't need them anymore. Oh. And then I'm going to find the end of my little lolly, and we're going to connect it on the opposite side like that. Okay, so I need a little bit of hot glue on the back of this. And I might need another stick here. Oh no, that's enough. I still might need another stick though. So you take that and you put it down and give it a minute and let it connect. So I want to get it, make sure it's down in the groove so it folds right, and I'm going to give that a second. In the meantime, while I suppose I'm going giddy with the hot glue here. This is Seal Plus. This is a tape runner, and forgive me because I met like 4 new people that have never stamped before. So this is a double-sided sticky tape, and it comes on a little piece of plastic, and I'm just going to put the adhesive on my paper like that. This is Seal Plus, by the way, and I'll attach that to the front here. Okay. Next, I'm going to take this other side of the flap and make this into a circle. And you could use liquid glue or tear-in tape, but I find that the hot glue for this particular thing sets up a lot faster, and I'm impatient, so hot glue for the win. If you are picking out a hot glue gun at a big box store, because Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell them, low heat if you like your fingerprints. Just saying. Okay. Hey, Sharon. Good to see you, my dear. Woo, okay. So next, I'm going to take this, and I want to make the lolly on the back side of, so I want the pointy side to go in, and so here, let me flip it. So I'm going to do the points on the inside. You can go either way. You can do the scallops on the inside and you'll get points on the outside, but I'm just going to put a little glue on this dolly to keep it where it's going. And then I'm going to put, oops, ow. Not for the faint of heart, those hot glue guns. All right, so then I'm going to take that and flip it over. Goes a lot faster with hot glue, though. I did glue myself. All right, and then, oh, look at, I put that on crooked. Well, I'm sure Alexis isn't going to mind. She's requested that I get her a bag of snacks for taking back to school, so I just made her one of these. Okay, but I can't wait to see her. She's coming home for a short visit over the weekend. And then I'll get to see her again up in Kennebunk for our retreat the following weekend. So she's going to come up and hang with us. All right, here we go. So that's what a lolly is. And I've seen people cut them down to make them smaller, but honestly, it's a really great size. And you can put it on a card, you can put it on a box, you know, I'm going to put it on a bag with snacks. But that's our retreat theme for next week of Welcome Home, but I thought it was very cute. So she'll appreciate that. So that is what a lolly is, and they're not very difficult to make. So that's the first thing I was answering questions on. I will also say for all you new folks, if you're looking for something to try out, this month's club is very different from normal. There's no stamping. What you would need if you decided to sign up for Stamp Club, and it's $44.50 a month, is a paper trimmer. And these are in our book or online, and I can point you to it if you need a link. I'll put the links up after I get off. I'll go look up all the numbers and put it in a comment. But it has a cutter blade and a scoring blade. And you need this to join club, because you'll cut up your own designer paper. Pear snips. These are super sharp. They're wonderful. They're $12. Or if you have a pair of scissors around your house, you're all set. And then this month, you'll also want a wink of Stella. Everything else is kind of like you can build as you go. I'll give you a quick sneak peek of those club cards, and I have not done the email marketing for it yet, but the deadline to sign up is November 10th. And so these include a fun fold, and you'll learn how to cut this. And this sits on one of those. Isn't that pretty? And you'll get everything you need in the package to make 8 cards, except adhesive, normally the stamp set, and of course, Wink of Stella, you need your own. But I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek of all of these. Faker Shaker. So there's snowflakes in there. And then these, we glued the snowflakes on. Aren't they cute? This is also a fun fold. It sits like an angle, like that. Okay. And then Very Merry. So the rest of the supplies for this just came in, so I just have to finish putting them together and they'll be ready to mail. Look at how sparkly that is. So I don't know if you're catching that, but I'm going to sit still for a second to see if you're catching. Oh, yeah. I'll wait. I have a delay. I move my hand so you can see how sparkly this is, but it's not picking it up. It is so sparkly. And that's the Wink of Stella brush. I do believe some of the directions lines were like, just wink everything. Same with this. I put Wink of Stella on the plants, but it's adorable. And like I said, everything you need comes in the kit except for a trimmer, some scissors, and glue. Okay, so that's club. And like I said, I'll have the advertisement and the email out for that. Hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow. Okay, what's next? So Stampin' Up! Created a guide for folks who are brand new to tell you what you might want to try to get when you're brand new. And they didn't put a paper trimmer on it, which I'm shocked, because that's like my #1 crafting essential. You're going to need a paper trimmer, especially if you're taking classes with me. We can see that the star is winked. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I was having trouble seeing it on the playback. Maybe I need to turn up my... Oh, look. Oh, now it's nice and bright. You can turn up the brightness on your laptop. That's cool. Okay, so what do we got? #1 was one of the things I showed you. I would also recommend a take your pick tool. This has a putty end, and it helps you pick up embellishments to make it easier here. But it's not a glue, so it's literally just to keep your fingers out of the equation. I'm gonna unplug that hot glue gun. Ooh. I can feel the heat. So it helps you pick up stuff like embellishments. Then it has a poker side. So this piece comes out and it flips over. So you can use this to pick up glue dots or get under something that's giving you trouble. And then sometimes if you stick your card together and you have trouble, you have a spatula on this end, or if you try to pick up a embellishment with this side and it goes flying, well, you can scrape it off the table with the spatula. I use the spatula a lot. This one also has a bunch of other things that you can buy. There's a dye brush that, you know, just you unscrew this and put the dye brush in. So it's got a lot of uses. Okay, so they are recommending liquid glue, and liquid glue is great. I use it to stick things together all the time, and if I were going to, looks like I got hot glue on this. If I were going to want to stick these two layers together, for example, oh wow, that didn't rip as nice as I was hoping, but I wouldn't put like a lot. I just use a little bit. Make sure that there's no goobers, and I come in about a 1/2 inch from the side of any side, and I just put a couple of dots, and then because it's liquid, you have a minute to kind of move it around. So if you go to line it up and it's not lining up perfectly, you can say, oh, I didn't like that, and move it, or oh, I need it to be exact, and move it back. So it gives you a second to get set up. So that is one benefit. If you use too much and you get too heavy-handed with it, I have people that end up covered in it and they don't like it because they're using a pretty heavy hand. But this is the stuff you can use to put boxes together. Pretty cool. Another adhesive that's on the same stickiness is tear and tape. And it's intended, I'm just going to use this as scrap for now. It's intended to take the end, lay it down on what you want to make sticky, and then tear it off. And then when you want to get the tear and tape sticky part off, I use the spatula to get under the middle of it, so I'm not dealing with trying to figure out like the ends or whatever. And then it's very easy to stick things to it. It's super sticky, good for boxes, that kind of thing. And then of course you already saw the Seal Plus when we were putting the Lovely together. There is a seal, but I haven't had very much luck with using seal, the plain seal. I prefer this one because it has like these little breaks in the action. So every, I don't know, we'll call it like every 1/8 of an inch, it has like a little line. Hang on. Focus, focus. I'm trying to get it to focus. I want you to see that. Oh, there it is. So it has like a little break in the action at every 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So Stampin' Up! Also recommends clear blocks D and E. They're the most popular. If you buy a bigger stamp, you kind of want to look at your stamp set, you would need an E, but an E is like this. This would fit D block all day long. So this is a great beginner stamp set. I know that they said saying hey, but I think that this one is more versatile and able to, you know, it's got birthday and thanks, hello, and just a note. It's got celebrate. So I kind of like all of the different options that this stamp set has for a beginner. A basic punch would help you because you can stamp an image onto something and then punch it out. So this is probably a bad example because, but it happens to be what I was playing with before I jumped on. I don't have any. Let's see if I can just get enough out of there. Oh yeah. So that's like after drawing. And if I just wanted to come in and have half of that circle, I could do this. And then use my dimensionals to add some height to it. But I probably also would cut it down. So if this were on a card front, and obviously it didn't stamp that great, so I'm not gonna, I could adhere it like that. And dimensionals, dynamic dimension, is the thing that pops it up. So like this. So that's just some of the basics, like definitely a paper trimmer, definitely a pair of scissors. And you don't have to buy the whole book out of the gate, you know, like pace yourself. When I do my shopping, I typically pick one stamp set. And I do this for classes too, so that if you take one of my classes, you don't feel like you have to buy the whole book in order to make the project. But I start back here in the back of the book, and I look at all of the designer papers. Yep. Looks like I'm going to have to go to the index. Here's a very cool thing about this book. If you don't know where to find something, they have an index at the very back, and that's how you find stuff. So designer series paper, 98, 97, 98. Oh, we're all over the book. Okay. Well, let's look at 98 and 97. There's a few listed there. Wow, that's pretty. So this is like the basics assortment. And it comes in either the brights, regals, neutrals. Geez, I'd like to see the chart a little bit better, but the brights and neutrals and all the color families start on page 135. When I was new to stamping, I was all over the soft subtles, and I loved them the most. And I tend to gravitate towards bright colors now. So, you know, the regals, they're stunning. Actually, that class I just showed you for club is all regals. But anyway, let's pick a design here. Now that I did that, we're gonna cut this down and make a card out of it. All right. So real basic, right? You need to be able to cut a piece of paper in half. So the number one thing that you need to start card making is a trimmer. And of course I have card bases made, but the idea is to show you. So if you are new to card making, you should know that half of 11 is 5.5. And this trimmer has this arm that comes out. I swear it does. So you can cut a piece of paper up to 17 inches long. But the magic in this cutter is when you close it, 5.5, or the halfway mark for the 11-inch side, is this long line, okay? This side is 8.5, and I want to measure at 4 1/4, and I'm going to score it down the middle like this. Okay, so I still just scored it, and now I'm going to put it in, and I can use this whole line that's on the arm that pulls out, and I know that that's 5.5. If you're a scrapbooker, 6 might be more important to you. Well, 6 is right up against the fence on this side, so you don't even need to measure on the ruler. That's already the 6-inch mark. It was designed with card makers and scrapbookers in mind. Yeah, it does. So this does it. I agree. It does both cutting and scoring. I agree with you, Roland. It should be number 1 on the Stampin' Up! List. But you know, they didn't consult me before they wrote up those pages. Shame on them. Funny. Let's do something simple. Okay, so here's a designer series paper. And while we're at it, I already cut a piece of paper down to 5 1/4 by 4, and I embossed it. So we have a die cutting machine that you can put your paper inside of a folder, and it makes the images stand up. Sorry for those of you that watch every week. I'm talking to the new girls. So I'm thinking that I'd like to put a 2-inch strip going across on that paper. And this is just going to be a very simple beginner card, right? So I took a 2-inch strip off the end, and then we said this was 4, but I'm just going to check myself because you never know. Sometimes I was layering. Oh, no, this is 3 3/4 by 5, no problem. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 3/4. And if I did cut it at 4, it wouldn't be a problem because I have paper snips and I could just glue it down and then decide later. So we can go straight across like this. That's pretty. I like it. Oh, and it is off a little bit from my cut, so let's pull out the snips anyway. So here's my tape runner, and I kind of stay up and I stay equal with the table so that the stick is always at the top, and you just have to lift at the end. Yay. Okay. So then you can see that my paper isn't exactly the same size, but I want it to be, so I'm just gonna trim a little off, and that's good for that. I think rather than put this white on white, that I would like another color in between. So you guys tell me, do we want Balmy Blue, which is the lightest, Misty Moonlight, which is that middle color, or Night of Navy? And while you're doing that, I'll grab those colors. Or maybe I won't. I didn't really see the Misty Moonlight in there, but I think we should stamp in the Misty Moonlight. So, in the beginning of card making, thank you, Misty Moonlight it is. Oh, the darker navy. Sorry. Look, I just came back. Okay. So this layer measures 5 by 3 3/4, and then this layer, the front of it, is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So we want a 1/4 inch border on the inside of that, or we could do an 1/8 and make it thinner. Here. Or we could do 2. Boy, you all want navy. All right, I'm going back. Because you told me. My bad. I grabbed the first one I could find. Here we go, Night of Navy. And now I need the Night of Navy ink pad. Dude, I have like 5 of them. Why can't I find it? I don't know. Oh. It was exactly where it's supposed to be put away. Exactly where it goes. And I just, probably because I'm live, I just overlooked it. So I want that middle layer to be 5 1/4 by 4. This is going to frame it up a little bit. Well, we could even try it 2 different ways. So you can decide. We'll do 5 1/4 by 4 for one. Okay. And then the next one I'm going to do 3 7/8. Ooh, another little scrap by 5 1/8. So 5, and then over 2 lines is 5 1/8. Looks kind of thin. Hopefully I cut it right. So you tell me, do you like a thinner border with the blue? Or do you like a bigger border? And we're going to lay, either way, we'll lay it on the white. So that's the bigger border. I think I like the thinner border because the pattern on the paper is so chunky. But whatever you want. You know how this works. You tell me what to do when I do it. Let's see. Thin. Okay, Joan, you called it. Thank you, dear. Okay. So we just need to put a little adhesive on this. And again, when you come off, finishing at the top means that the adhesive's right there when you go in for the next round. So that's good to know, right? And then here we go. So now we need some sort of sentiment. My club hostesses have been getting this one. I'll be changing over to a different sentiment set or something different again. They've been getting this as their host gift after 6 months in club. Let's see. Maybe a happy birthday. I can move the sympathy over for a minute. I was making sympathy cards for a local florist. She texted me this morning and said, Selene, I'm out of cards. Pronto. So, nope, not that one. That one. And I need a scrap paper. So I think we'll probably use a punch just to make it simple. I have a 2-inch one here on the table. It might be too big though. And I usually have a Stampin' mat underneath my stamping surface, but just to keep this moving along. Okay, so there's the Night of Navy. And here's the 2-inch punch that I have. It's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna put the wishes at the bottom and maybe we'll find an embellishment. So the other thing I want to do is I want to add another layer, but I don't want to cut another layer, so I'm going to do this. So this is going to show up with a blue border against the white, and I'm just going to give that a minute to dry. Okay. In the meantime, I want the butter box. Where is it? I have a butter box that has all of my open embellishments, and I thought merely speaking its name it would come to me, but let's see if I can find it. If not, I'll pick an embellishment. I think all right, how about this one? These are just rhinestones. And they come in multiple sizes, which I like. And I got my take your pick tool right here. And, well, I gotta put an eye on birthday first. And maybe on wishes. Maybe, I don't know. I just want to fill in the space a little, so I think I don't like it now. It happens. Not every card you make is going to be a home run. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it look like it's hanging over the edge. So I'm just going to cut it straight across. And I need the ink pad again. Didn't see that coming. But I got the edges there. I just dunked it in the ink so that it would do the same thing we did before. All right, and now how about some dimensionals to lift that up? So it's a pretty basic card, but the idea is if you're new, it shouldn't take you 2 hours to make a card. You can pretty much go for it. Now, if you did decide to join club, we typically make 8 projects, and it's 4 designs, 2 of each. This is a special month for club, though. We're going to be making 8 different cards. And there's no stamping, which is kind of cool. So it can help you ease into crafting and see if you like it. Now, so we did the basics of a card. I showed what a lolly was, and we can welcome Alexis home with a nice little gift bag going back to school. And then I have one more thing I want to kind of talk about. So when I was brand new, we didn't have these. I am the person who makes the kits usually, although Stampin' Up! Has caught on, and now they are releasing 2 brand new kits a month. So what's a kit? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. Is this cool enough? Yes, I can move it. So let me show you what I mean. This is one of the kits that came out just today, and I only have one because Stampin' Up! Flew somebody in from the home office to speak at our fundraiser a week ago Saturday. But this is a frame, and you get 4 of them. So this is the first design, and they are $25 for the entire kit. So you get 4 frames and all the stuff you need to build these 4 scenes. So here's number 2. So that's like $6.25 a piece. And like, how cool is that? Obviously, I would show you the coloring book, but my daughter has it. Maybe I can get her to bring it home this weekend so I can take a picture of it. But the coloring ensemble with the colored pencils, the watercolor, so you can practice, the aqua painter, and then the coloring book itself, it's all $25. So you get all of those supplies. Everything's in the box. So that's the 2 new ones. I will show you the biggest selling one. We have some Christmas ones. There's a Christmas ornament one. There's a Christmas card one. There's Christmas tags. And they're all pretty self-guiding. But I thought it might be cool to show you this one. So this one is Expressions in Kindness. So it comes with a stamp set. We'll start down there. Stamp set looks like this. And it has just a note wishing you the happiest of birthdays, kindly delivered to. It has that little flame looking thing. And then this background stamp. It tells you all the product colors so that if you wanted to cut these up and make more cards, like these envelopes, you could definitely cut these up and make them into cards and not even use them as envelopes. Buy separate envelopes, you know. But everything you need to make these cards, 2 designs, 4 of each, 8 cards, is in here. So that's 2, that's 3. And then same with this. And then it comes with these druzy embellishments. Druzy comes from a term like broken glass. If you didn't know. I had to look it up. I didn't know. And then 2 different styles of envelopes. And I did stamp on the envelopes. These come plain. It comes with a Stampin' Spot. So it has the ink that you need. It comes with some dimensionals and some glue dots for you to put your project together. If you do pick up one of these kits, I would recommend that you still get paper snips, adhesive, and a trimmer. Because those are like just the basic things that you absolutely need. And of course, Wink Estella. But this one comes with a bolt of ribbon and a clear block. And when I sell them at the craft fair, I sell them for $30 because I have to include tax and shipping. But you get all of that. So 8 cards, 8 envelopes, all the ink you need. So I thought, since this is my biggest selling kit, like the board, every time I put out 5 of them at an event, this one sells first. But I will tell you, if you get one home, all of our kits on the back has a QR code that you can scan. And it will tell you what to do with all the supplies in this kit and how to put it together as directed. Does that mean that you have to put it as directed? No. So I have one here. It's not open. And since my florist called, I have my cards at a local florist, and she said she's in desperate need of some sympathy cards. So I already made her 12, but I thought that this would be a quick and easy way to, number one, show you how to start that's simple. Now, they have stamps, they have ones that are like so inexpensive and they don't come with a stamp set. So every single experience is different. You can go as easy or as difficult as you want, but all of them are pretty self-explanatory. Let's see, I think. And of course, the video doesn't hurt. Okay, so here's the Stampin' Spot. I prefer the larger ink pads. So when I put one of these together, I don't even open the spot. I just go for my ink pad, but that's me, which is why I don't know how to open this one. I'm trying. Oh, so that's just the tip of my paper snips. I do that to open boxes too. I just slide it across, whatever. I don't have to open it or anything. All right. So here's our stamp set, and we went over the words, but I'm gonna go rogue. I don't want to use that stamp set. I'm gonna pull the sympathy one back out because that's what I need. So these kits are just a jumping off point. If there's something that you wanted to make them into, you could. Like, okay, there's the block, the dimensionals, and the embellishments. They're so pretty. Okay. Come on. There we go. Something just went flying. Oh, one of my lollies went off the other end of the table. So here's how they come, and you could totally cut these up and make a boatload more cards. But I just want to help my florist find out. So these are all things that you stamp on. And notice, even though there's 4 each and 2 designs, you've got 10 things to stamp on. And that is just in case you make a mistake. Okay, so here's my 2 designs. And then it comes with these pretty flowers. Hey, Cindy. Thanks for stopping in all the way from California. So we got coast to coast today. I love that. I appreciate you guys so much. Stampin' Up! Announced that they're going to do annual achievement awards later today. I did get some emails yesterday and awards to put on my blog, but I just haven't gotten that far yet. So that I'm going to just kind of get rid of anything I don't need and take these die-cut, pre-colored, beautiful images off their paper. Kind of get ready to put everything together. So inside the box is all of these things. If you get lost, there's a video for every single one. And you know, maybe you want Christmas tags and you don't want to do purple flowers right now. You can, there's a kit for everybody. And I love Paper Pumpkin because there's a surprise inside and all of that. But I like being able to choose my kit even more. Because this one, it just pokes me in the eye happy. Here we go. Just taking my time here because I don't want to wreck those. They're so pretty. But I mean, honestly, we haven't spent that much time on it, and look how far we are already. I'm a visual girl, and I've already made this kit once, so I think I'm going to steal from my own stash to see what the cards are supposed to look like, and just go for it. Oof. Okay. Now, what I was telling you before, I do prefer having my own adhesive. For something so delicate like this, I think, well, actually, I have a different idea for that. I was going to originally use liquid glue, but I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put a strip of adhesive here because this is just going to go on top anyway. So let me get the other design up. So that's this one, and this is this one. Okay? Cool. So let's pull these 4 forward. Oh no, I lied. I had that other card over there. That's why. Okay. Tape runner. And these are so pretty. Like, I don't feel the need to overglue them. There's one. I put another little bit of adhesive over the top so we can stick this one. And then we'll do our stamping next. So for the blue ones, the sample said to use the blue, so I'll do that. Why not? But I'm not going to use the stamp set because I need sympathy. So let's move this one off again. That was the birthday one that we just made. They really are. Debbie, I agree with you. The kits are fabulous. And being new, it's nice to not have to worry about cutting your paper right away. You know, you can ease into it. But here we go. So because my ink pad is smaller than the stamp, I'm inking up upside down. I do that a lot whenever the ink pad is smaller than the stamp, so that I can see that I get perfect coverage. Okay, so there's my first one. And I could dig in and find and get the little dimensionals, but I think I'll use the open ones I have on the table. But they work just the same. Or maybe I won't. I can't find them. I'm sure they're buried under here somewhere. So funny story, we were on that cruise ship last week, and every morning there was a guy named Tor who says, "Hey, my name is Tor and I work here," and he would do all the announcements. So the first day he had my husband and I rolling because he's like, "Yep, if you hear 3 long buzzes at 5:30 and you're not on the boat, you can stop running because you've missed it, and we'll see you at the next port." And then there was another, like, he had a different one for every day. They were just so funny. But I loved his, "Hi, my name is Tor and I work here." He didn't give any fancy title, or I was like, "Yep, that's my people right there." You know, while I have this out, I know that I want to make all sympathy. And won't these be beautiful sympathy cards? And this happens to fit. This is from the Unbounded Love stamp set. It happens to fit this one. We just used this set for the Stamp Out Breast Cancer fundraiser. Thank you guys. Anyway, we're up over $20,000. Yes, our goal is 26, but we have until the end of the year. So who knows? Maybe we'll have another act of God somehow. Because I'm telling you, it's such a big number. It always surprises me. But that's a whole lot of crafty people doing a little bit each, and what a difference you guys make. So thank you. My friend, the day before the fundraiser, had a lumpectomy, and she seems to be doing good. She's got to have some radiation, but her prognosis is good. But oof, so stressful. Okay, so there's all my sympathies, and I am going to take this stamp off the block because I like this little bit that they have going back here, and do that one little stamp. I think it adds a little something. So flip that over. I always like to have a nice clean block before I stamp, and this one's kind of dirty, so now I put the dirty side on the other side. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna ink up and stamp my 4 little, I don't know, what would you call that? Grid? It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a decoration. I do love the kits, and I love that you can choose what suits you. Anybody with little kids, boys or girls, the robot one is number 1. If you have girls, there's a birthday kit. I mean, you get 2 new ones every single month. So the kits in there are beautiful, but there's a sparkle birthday one that's pink. If you have a girly girl, that's your kit. And it's good for beginners too, like all of these are. Because we're just having a chat, and I'll be able to make all of these up. Okay, so there's my spot on. Put a cover on that so I don't. All right, let me go back to this. So now I have all of my sentiments ready to go, and there's some ribbon. So on the original, let me see. It's longer, it's got to be longer than the, so I'll pop these out now that they're stamped. We're going to fold a piece of ribbon in half, and it's going to be longer than the sentiment. And I know I have an extra. I could probably use that on another card. So when I get off the live today, I'm going to do a supply list for you for everything we touched. But at the bottom will be all the kits. You can go into the kit collection easier and kind of just browse. If you go to stampinup.com, I can send you links for all of that. Anyway, here we go. So I'm going to cut my ribbon about that long and at an angle. And then I'm going to use that piece to cut 4 more strips. Now that adhesive is still there that we put on, so I'm going to take this ribbon and fold it back in half and stick it right over the front. And I'm going to leave this side long because I can trim it later. So there's that. And then this is going to get some dimensionals, and I did lose the ones I was working with on the table, so let's dig in. These blocks are different from the ones we sell. They're a thinner version, and it's really just to keep the kit cost reasonable. So it's not a huge investment. It's, you know, a 30-minute, maybe a 40-minute escape, and you'll have a fistful of cards that you can send out. I think I want it at an angle. Okay. Next one, I'll do more of an angle. So here's that one. And then we'll just clean it up. So you can see that there's 2 pieces of ribbon there, right? And then, again, you can peel these off with your fingers, but I have a take your pick tool here, so I'd be silly not to just use it. And I'm sticking the embellishment to the sticky. Yeah, let's see it that way. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the one I had done previously, just because it's easy. But you can follow the pictures in the guide too. It doesn't have to be perfect. One up here, one up here. That's quite a sympathy card, isn't it? Ooh. So I didn't use the stamp that was part of the kit. I picked a different one because what I happen to need. So that's the first design, and I could make all the cards with you sitting here, but I'll let you go on that one, and I'll just go into this other one. And we could, you know, wink the flowers a little, because why not? So I'm going to make the others, the other 3 out of that side of the kit exactly the same. And look, I got wink on my flowers, which is just this beautiful sparkle that doesn't come off on your hands. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to take one of those that I just cut and put adhesive here and do that. And then you'll need to put adhesive in between. So you could put this together entirely with the glue dots that they gave you, but I would definitely recommend getting yourself tape runner because it's just so much easier. And maybe you have one in your stash, even if you're new to stamping. There it is. There it is. So with sympathy, my florist is going to be so happy with me. This with sympathy came from the Unbounded Love stamp set. It's the one we just used for the fundraiser. Here, it's got so many cool sentiments, and they're bigger than they look on the front of this. The happy birthday is, you know, that big, and you can tell it's got a lot of love. But yeah, this is a gorgeous stamp set, and I'm so happy that we used it for the fundraiser. I think people loved the cards. And if anybody does make a donation to that Stamp Out Breast Cancer, I am still sending out the tutorial. There were 28 different projects in the tutorial that went out for online. I'm going to go straight there. Huh? I don't know. Yeah, that's good. And then we got one. Gotta put 5, I think. So there's the birthday one that the greeting comes with, and here's a sympathy. I guess my sympathy's a little crooked, huh? Let's go that way. That's better. I don't know, if the words are straight, it looks right, you know? But you can make it into anything that you want with any stamps that you have. Isn't that cool? So that was quite a bit. We've got club signups going out. I did make you quite the list if you're a newbie. I talked for a long time today. I showed how to make a lolly out of the Here You Go because somebody asked. And as long as you have questions, I'll be able to make... All right, Mary Jo, I haven't seen it. Mary Jo said, on all your achievements. Well, thank you, but I haven't seen the achievements yet. Isn't that funny? I don't know where I stand. It doesn't matter. You know where I stand? I stand with all of you. It's very cool that I can do this for work and that we can get together and decide to do a fundraiser and fight against breast cancer and raise $20,000 with people spending like $25 to get a tutorial. I mean, it blows my mind every time. And it gets bigger every year. And if you're a demonstrator and you'd like to participate, let me know. Because everybody's welcome to hang with us and to help raise money. And if you're a customer, you can definitely purchase the tutorial by making a donation. We don't take any money at all for that event. So I really love you guys. And yeah, okay. Michelle, when I get off, I'll put the Stamp Out Breast Cancer link. I'll post it again to my business page so that it's its own post. So yeah, I'm so very excited. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. My husband, we just got home on Sunday and he flew out on business yesterday. So I'm home alone and I'm crafting. So that's all I'm doing for the next couple of days is getting stuff buttoned up and ready for retreat. So anyway, thank you for being here. And if you guys need anything, send me a message and I'll put you on the list. Talk to you soon. My name is Selene and I work here.